start for the first preparation. So again, I'm giving back to Kingmakers IAS exam that I was able to clear this exam. I can confidence that it will be Sir, I come from Tiruvallur district, which is a coastal district from Tamil Nadu, and most of our district, the socio-economic background is equally of industrial and agriculture. But nowadays, agriculture is reducing and industry is quite a bit increasing because of the intrusion of salt water into the groundwater, and the agriculture that is it is quite becoming non-remunerative. So industrial background is increasing.
Okay.
And we have 4 talukas.
Okay. So you are basically coming from a district which is adjoining the state headquarters, if I am right.
Yes, sir.
And given the developments in the districts in and around the state headquarters, it is a common knowledge that agriculture would be going down a bit. It will be taking a back seat and industrial development will be at the forefront. This is not exactly something that is very specific to Tiruvallur or wherever the place you are from. It is universally the same case everywhere across the world. You will be agreeing with me.
Yes, sir.
Because of the locational advantage to the state headquarters and the advantages the district possesses in terms of transportation and availability of skilled and trained manpower, availability of facilities like in terms of availability in terms of skilled manpower and all that. So these are all certain advantages that a nearer district to the state headquarters would be possessing.
Yes, sure.
But at the same time, according to your DAF, I have seen that you have opted for sociology.
Yes, sir.
What are the sociological issues that would be arising out of such a transition from an agrarian economy to an industrial or more of a tertiary kind, a developed economy? In the common parlance of economy, the development is in terms of more purchasing power, more incomes, more industrial growth, etc., etc. So what, as a sociologist, you are thinking that this transition has triggered some kind of sociological changes?
Sure, sir. This transition has triggered sociological change because as I have seen in my years of experience, earlier it used to be there was much inequality between the caste groups in Tiruvallur. Nowadays, everyone is having equal job opportunities because of the industrial growth that is taking place and because of the suburbanization kind of growth that is coming to districts, places near the headquarters. And many people are venturing opportunities in different growths, and even women, they are coming out of the domesticated kind of living they had, and now they are venturing out opportunities, and many educational levels are also increasing, sir, because of the industrial.
So in short, you are telling that the transition has triggered some kind of events which has led to a slow downslide in casteism.
Yes, sir.
Improved women empowerment.
Yes,
Improved economic opportunities for all the social classes.
Yes,
we have various social classes in the country, like the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, backward classes, NBCs, and so many things we have in our country. So according to your view, this has triggered this kind of a positive development. Haven't you observed anything negative in terms of the sociological issues?
Negative, most
Sociological issues, according to what I am telling, is not only related to caste and all that, but there are so many other sociological factors that are prevalent in the society.
Yes, sir.
So, haven't you observed anything negative?
Yes, sir, sure, sir. Regarding to environment and pollution, because of the industrial city, industrial development, the kind of environmental impact is on the negative side, I would say, sir. The Tiruvallur district also has major ports, Ennur port or Kamarajar port, which is one of the major port in Tamil Nadu, and we have seen oil dispersion in the Ennur coast frequently.
So basically, you are talking about environmental issues which are technically different from social issues.
Yes.
I am asking in terms of social issues, particularly in the negative light, like increased prevalence of drugs, increased crime rates, drug usage, drug abuse, etc., etc., or actually sociological issues that are plaguing the so-called industrially developed places, industrially advanced places where population will be very huge and it will be very difficult for the law enforcing authorities to monitor and all that. You must be aware of all these facts. And have you ever observed anything on increased women abuse, increased drug related abuse? You are understanding what I am telling, right? And increased crime rates because of all these factors. And if there is an increase in the flow of money, it is not a very big, it does not take a very big brain to understand that the crime rates also would be increasing because money attracts so many crimes and it is actually mutually, dependent on each other. Have you observed anything, because you are from this place, you are a native of this place, have you observed anything in...
I don't remember the negative aspects as of now, so because
Okay.
crime rates and women
Okay.
have not.
Okay, so you haven't come across anything, that is so, catchy or that was not, attracting your attention, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Good. Okay, I see your mother tongue from your DAF is Telugu.
Yes, sir.
Are you conversant in reading and writing?
No, sir, I only speak Telugu because I didn't my father and mother, they didn't read to write in Telugu. So it discontinued from that generation itself. So only we converse in Telugu and we don't know to speak and write. I mean,
Okay.
to write and read, sorry, sir.
Okay. I see you are basically an electronics and communications engineer.
Yes, sir.
And is there any specific reason that you opted for sociology?
Sir, coming from an engineering background, I wanted to know about the society more to take up a job like Indian Administration Service. So I thought, let me choose sociology so I could have more understanding about the society and how the working of society takes place. So that is the reason I chose sociology as my optional in civil services examinations, sir.
Okay. And one more thing, if I may add, that will help you is this particular subject of yours does not figure in the list of optionals in the Union Public Service Commission. So in addition to what you are telling, this also you can add it up so that it will be looking very natural, and that is also one of the main reasons. So if you were a mechanical engineer or an electrical engineer or a civil engineer, all those optionals are already on the list.
Yes, sir.
So there is no mention of electronics nor communications engineering in the list of optionals that are provided by UPSC, right?
I'm
So
not aware of that, sir.
you can keep that in mind as well. So it will be very useful. So your dad is an agriculturist?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how do you see Indian agriculture these days?
Sir, Indian agriculture, I would say there is development. I mean, year on year growth is increasing, but on the same time it is stagnant at some point. Because the technology that we are using in agriculture, most of the agriculture, 80% of the farmers are small and marginal farmers. So they cannot infuse the technical growth that takes place in the Western countries as such in Indian agriculture. So the commercial or agriculture being remunerative occupation nowadays is decreasing, sir. It is stagnant at that level. But it is providing for the population of India. There is self-sustenance in food production, but not in technological growth in agriculture. So that is my point on India's
Okay.
agriculture.
And what is your view on the various schemes and policies and various kinds of subsidies extended by the government of India and various other state governments, in this case your own state government of Tamil Nadu,
Yes, sir.
towards agriculture? Is it really helping the farmers or is it only some kind of a lip service that the departments are offering, is it really enough for the farmers, or is it really giving a helping hand? What is your view? You can be very frank in your opinions.
Yes, sir. Schemes like PM Kisan, where they are providing with some input cost for the farmers or some income uh, support for the farmers through PM Kisan schemes, and state governments are also providing like monetary benefits and also some subsidies for the crops, fertilizers as such in agriculture.
Is there any DBT in terms of these agriculture schemes, the direct benefit transfer?
Yes, sir. DBT we have in Kisan and MSPs also have, it has been indirect benefit transfer, sir. But the schemes as such help farmers only to some extent, sir. Most of the farmers are not aware of these schemes because of their lack of knowledge in these schemes, and the benefits are accrued by mostly the well-developed farmers, well-developed communities, landlords, but the landless laborers, they are not having any kind of help from the government.
You think in this age of communication and prevalence of WhatsApp and other kinds of social media, wherever you turn, you have a social media tool. Anywhere in this country, you can access that. Do you really believe that even in this age and times that the degree of awareness is not there in terms of government schemes, etc.?
Sir, they have the awareness, but they are not getting continuous support from the system, sir. Because as we have implemented micro irrigation system in our farms, but we couldn't continue that due to lack of support. It is taking maintenance, the charges are exceeding. So we removed that micro irrigation system and we are continuing with flood irrigation, which is in turn affecting the fertility again. So I would say that support system is not continuing to farmers, or they are feeling it much more costlier than the traditional methods they are following, sir.
Okay. So this is on the back end, and what I am talking is the back end support, like schemes and subsidies and inputs, etc. What is the problem that Indian agriculture is facing as far as the markets are concerned? Markets in the sense the prices for the commodities that they produce.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have studied a cobweb theory where 1 year the prices increase in agricultural produce, the next year prices decline because of higher production. This is happening due to the exact kind of crop the farmer is choosing to produce that particular year, because the last year it was on the deficit side and the next year it is, and there is volatility in pricing, and also farmers are not having the authority to fix prices for their produce. So this is in turn it is adding up to the volatility that farmers are facing in the price sides.
Have you ever heard about an organization called CACP?
Yes, sir.
What is the role of CACP?
CACP is the exact abbreviation I cannot bring.
The Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices.
Yes, sir. So they recommend the minimum support price for the government, which is in turn accepted by the Office of Economic Affairs. So they recommend the minimum support price based on the.
You can gather more details on this.
Yes, sir.
Since you have mentioned this in your own DAF as your dad's profession, so you can get into some more details for your increased confidence, right? I see that you're coming from the state of Tamil Nadu, and Tamil Nadu traditionally has an aversion to the introduction of Hindi into the schools of particularly wherever the state board of education is prevailing. What is the basic reason behind this?
Sir, language is something which is dear to people of the region. So it is, I would say it is only the fear that the Tamil language would go out of focus when Hindi is implemented, because India has majority Hindi speaking people. So
See, basically, as a sociologist, you have learnt sociology for UPSC, and you must have referred to a plethora of books and would have analyzed so many theories and all that. And in sociology, language is an integral part of the society. In fact, it is one of the most important pillars of the society. Do you really believe that learning something new, learning a new language, will actually overshadow the love and affection that we have towards our mother tongue, and it will really pull down the relevance and importance of the mother tongues?
though mother tongue is very important, I mean everyone will have their mother tongue dear, languages dear to them. But sir, when opportunities are not there, it cannot be continued for a longer generations. As you can see in my case, Telugu is my mother tongue, but I did not get the opportunity to learn. Maybe it would be the lack of awareness of my father and parents that they did not continue my education in mother tongue. But the opportunity I missed, I feel for it now that I did not know to read and write in Telugu. So when some other language comes into place and importance is given to that language, the opportunity to read one's own language is declining, sir. I think that is the reason why people started an aversion towards the other languages that are implemented in the education system.
No. What I was asking to repeat, I mean, for your sake of understanding, is an introduction of a new knowledge will not erode the existing level of something else. If you are learning algebra, you will not forget geometry. If you are learning trigonometry, you will not be forgetting Fourier transforms and Laplace transforms, right? So the same logic can be applied to the languages as well. And I don't think if by learning a new language you will or the society will start forgetting the existing language. I don't think that is going to happen, or that has happened anywhere in the world. I don't think an introduction of a new language has supplanted the deep-rooted mother tongue, because Tamil it's a general knowledge that Tamil is in prevalence for the past thousands and thousands of years, and Hindi, as you know, was created only in the 13th or 14th century, popularly called as the Hindustani, a language Hindustani, and it is in existence for the past 5-6 centuries, and it's a collage, it's a cocktail of many North Indian or many Asian languages like Persian, Urdu, Arabic, Turkish language, and so many. It's a mix of various languages, and popularly the dialect became so widespread that it has attained the level of the official language of this country. If you go to Rajasthan, you can see common people speaking Rajasthani very well. If you go to Punjab, Punjabi is the common language. Haryanvi is another language. It's like that way speaking, so many languages are in this country. Yet Hindi is considered to be the lingua franca of the body politic of our country called India. So, is it not a political tool that had gained over prominence in the recent decades due to various political policies and ideologies of the state that had left an entire 2-3 generations completely without an opportunity to learn this language and to gain an upper hand in the national level scenarios, in terms of employment, in terms of politics, in terms of your dominance across the Indian landscape? Don't you feel like that?
Yes, sir, I agree with you that opportunity to learn other languages should be present. So introducing new language will not reduce the importance of the mother tongue, Telugu or Tamil.
Okay. Okay, so you're right now employed with Wipro Technologies?
Not right now, sir. I worked there only 2 years.
Okay.
And then I came to prepare for Indian Administrative Service.
So, as a technical person, you had a fairly good experience with the IT industry
Yes, sir.
for almost like 3 years.
Yes, sir.
So, we have made a lot of inroads into the information technology sector, no doubt. As a country, we have done a lot of things, and as an engineer, you must be appreciating the fact that it has given a fair share of the country's GDP.
Yes, sir.
Besides providing employment opportunities to youngsters like you in the order of millions, if not more than that. Millions of families have benefited out of this, and in fact, foreign remittances also. So many of our young boys and girls are employed abroad as hardware engineers or software engineers, or name whatever we have in our country. It has gained to a great extent the forex and all that. So all these things are good, but have we ever produced an operation systems which we can proudly claim to be an Indian product, or have we ever invented a language, an operating language, basically like C, C++ or something like that, or have we ever designed an original international standard networking system? I mean, if this question is asked to anybody, anybody's answer would be a plain no, right? We are only playing the second fiddle to some kind of an organization which is giving the basic works of coding and basic works that, in other words, I mean, sorry to say, the dirty work is passed on to the boys and girls of a country. Okay, I mean, that is one of the factors in a developing economy. We cannot expect everything to happen overnight. But since we have taken this journey of the modern day information technology journey and all that, it's been almost 30-35 years. Oh yeah, it's a fairly a long time. And you combine with the man number of years, it will be going into thousands of man years. So what is it that is plaguing this country in terms of not having all these products from our own stables? Why aren't we still having it?
So one reason I would say because of not improving in the IT sector for almost being there for 30-35 years is the main reason. One is brain drain, sir. Because the people who study in the prestigious institutions like IITs and IIMs, they venture out to seeking for better opportunities in the Western countries, and we can see that from the top technical giants which are headed by Indian origin engineers. So one reason is brain drain, sir. The second reason is mostly or every employment is given in the IT sector, and average work is done. They are getting sustained from that income and not starting the startups.
So you are telling there is no aspirations?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And but sir, now things are changing.
One more thing. Anything? I was expecting you would be telling the lack of research and development in the universities.
Yes, sir.
Do we really have that much of capital input or kind of expenditure from the educational institutions, may it be the government or quasi-government or private sector? There is no adequate quantity of capital that is pumped into the research and development activities. Why are we talking about always the Stanfords and the Oxfords and the Dukes and etc. of the Western countries, and not about any of our great institutions? You said yourself that IITs, one of the world's premier technical institutions, technological institutions. Even IITs aren't producing enough of this product. We have not got any kind of operating systems or anything that is startlingly original or amazingly fresh, that is new to the world, even from IITs. The main reason behind all these things is lack of research and development opportunities, because there is no adequate funding for research and development opportunities. So that also you can add upon.
Okay, sir.
What was the area you were working? What was your domain in the software industry?
So we interact with the clients and build a framework for their expectations and what needs to be done. And server technologies also we were handling, sir, to take care of the servers of the particular clients. That was.
Can you name a few of those server technologies?
Linux, Unix, I have to read up on that.
Please update, because this is an area where you might get questions.
Yes, sir.
Isn't there a star in this name?
Yes, sir. Star is also there. But the main reason for my name is the horse background.
So you can gather some points on this. Not a big thing, but just for your Okay. So I see you have got an interest in yoga.
Yes, sir.
Can you just briefly throw some light on the origins of this great form?
Yoga is basically from the works of Patanjali, sir. So the Guru Patanjali, he has noted down the.
When was this?
I don't know the exact years, sir. During ancient Indian times.
No. See, ancient Indian time is a general term. If my memory goes right, Yoga Sutra of Patanjali dates back to almost like the early BCs, the early centuries before Common Era, or somewhere like that. You just gather some particulars. And yoga, like never before, has gained a lot of prominence, not only in India, and even in countries like the USA and other advanced developed countries. What is so special in yoga that so much of people are attracted towards that?
Sir, I would say yoga gives the inherent peace for the people who are practicing it, sir. Given the stressful life of the busy life in the modern world, people are going back towards the traditional ways to reduce their stress and anxiety levels. So yoga, which is producing better health and.
Is it scientifically proven that yoga reduces stress and anxiety levels? Or how do you say that? Do you say it by experience, or is it backed up by some kind of research?
So the focus and the concentration that we need to put in to do asanas and the pressure points are providing the better mental health and physical health for the people practicing yoga. So this is what.
Basically, you're telling that various postures will trigger the internal organs, improve the circulation systems, improve the nervous responses, improve the calmness of mind, and all that. Okay. So you gather some more points on that. Is yoga and pranayama same, or is it different?
So pranayama is a part of yoga which comes under the karma yoga. So it is for common people that the meditation and pranayama or everything is one sub part of yoga. So it comes under the karma yoga sub part. So.
Okay. So, what is your favorite posture in yoga?
Sir, Vrikshasana is my favorite. So standing like a tree, it needs to more concentration and the stability, physical stability is needed for standing in one feet. So that is my favorite posture. Sir.
Okay. Okay. So, have you observed something called as the National Yoga Day? Our Honorable Prime Minister himself is basically a very good expert in yogasana and all that, and he's so fit at this age.
Yes.
That is another issue. What is the specific day that is celebrated as the National Yoga Day?
So it is June 21st, the longest day of the year, which is considered as International Yoga Day. So we are celebrating yoga throughout the world during June 21st, and that date was chosen because it is the longest day of the year. That specialization has gained more.
Have you ever come across a degree by name BYNS? A professional degree offered in the Indian systems of medicine.
No,
Bachelor of Yoga and Natural Sciences.
no, sir, I'm hearing it.
Okay, you can just gather some light on that since you have mentioned it in your special areas.
Okay, sir.
You can better go delve into deeper depths. Okay.
Sure, sir.
And interestingly, you had presented a paper on prosthetics for differently abled.
Yes, sir.
What is prosthetics?
So prosthetics are the artificial locomotor devices that that can help for people with locomotive challenge to lead a normal life, sir. So
And what are prosthetics made of?
prosthetics are made of a lighter metal which was invented by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I can't recollect the exact name of the metal.
The carbon composite.
Carbon composite.
CC composite is the lighter. It's not a metal. It's called as composite.
Okay, sir.
The carbon composite is 100 the weight of any normal metal, with 100 times more than the durability and strength. So a prosthetic limb or a prosthetic facility should be lighter in weight and it should be heavier in its strength. So that's how you can easily carry around. I mean, you can have a prosthetic limb or an arm. It should not pull your forces down. It should not give you more burden than a facility. So prosthetic technologies are increasing day by day, and prosthetic technologies are finding a place. It's now common. In those days, you will find people with very old technologies like walking sticks and so many other things, which made their lives very miserable, and which was kind of a social stigma. But now prosthetics have developed. Prosthetics field, it has developed into greater levels, and in Western countries and all that, so many things are happening. And are you aware of AI enabled prosthetics technology?
Yes, sir. That is the specific area in which I have presented the paper, sir.
Yeah, can you just explain more?
So the brain controlled signals are used to move the prosthetics, sir. So it will be much friendlier, user friendly than the normal mechanically made prosthetics, sir. Here the brain signals are captured from the person who is going to use that prosthetic, and it is used for better accompany for the user, sir.
What percentage of population in India is physically disabled?
So actually the data which is based on the disability types which were mentioned in the earlier act, it is 2.5%, sir. But now the disability types have been increased by amending the People with Disability Act. So now it has increased to 21 types. The exact data is not present for now, sir. The older data is 2.5.
Okay. What is the prevalence of disability in Tamil Nadu?
Sir, I have not looked into that, sir. Sorry, sir.
Please gather the details. What kind of farm work you are interested in your extracurricular activities?
Sir, it is sowing and harvesting, sir,
Of
of groundnuts and some flowering plants and even sugarcane, sir. But sugarcane.
these are what you cultivate in your fields?
Yes, sir. Also paddy, sir.
Okay, what kind of groundnuts that is normally used in cultivation in your district or generally in Tamil Nadu?
The name of the groundnuts, sir, right?
Please gather those details because you have mentioned it yourself. If you have mentioned it yourself, then you'll have to be thoroughly well of that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So there are very many varieties of sugarcane. Like for instance, in rice we have IR8, IR20, IR30, Sona Masuri, Masuri, etc., etc. And we have got so many other traditional varieties also. Likewise, groundnut has a lot of varieties like Co1, Co2, so many things are there. You just gather the details, you'll be well versed with that, and also be well versed with what kind of pests that would be normally infecting a groundnut crop and what are the remedies. If you're following organic recipes of insecticides and fertilizers, you be well aware of the recipes of the organic types, etc., etc. Keep it ready made in hand so that you should not be taken by surprise. And sugarcane you mentioned, see, normally there are few states where sugarcane is prevalent in India. Can you name them?
Sir, it is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Haryana, the Green Revolution Belt, and Maharashtra, sir, to my knowledge.
And Tamil Nadu.
And Tamil Nadu.
And as far as the sugar content is concerned, the sucrose content or whatever they say, it is the highest in the northern regions,
Yes, sir.
particularly. What is the specific reason for that?
Sir, it is the climate due to which the sugar content is very high, because in higher temperatures the sugarcane would lose its sucrose content. So in northern part of India we have reduced temperatures and longer winter periods are there. Specifically, there is climate demarcations in north.
Is sugar industry a sunset industry or a sunrise industry?
Sir, I would say it is both, sir, because now it used to be sunset industry, but now it is turning into sunrise because of the ethanol production that is going on at the electric vehicles and reducing the fossil fuel usage.
Ethanol into electric vehicles?
No, sir, sorry, sir, with petroleum. Sorry, sir.
So you're telling it as a kind of biofuel.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And English detective novels. Who is your favorite author?
The Sydney Sheldon, sir, and Agatha Christie.
So what kind of, can you name your favorite of Sheldon's?
Sir, I like Stars Shine Down and Bloodlines, sir. These two are my favorite novels because the female lead that Sheldon has written in these novels are very strong, and whatever situation they are in, they will think of a opportunity to come out of that troubling part, and again they'll rise. So Stars Shine Down is one of the favorite novels of Sydney Sheldon, sir.
Okay. Have you read Windmills of the Gods?
Sir, everyone asks me this, but I have not read it, sir.
Okay.
Not read.
If you have time, just go through it quickly because it is one of the, I'm not a great vocalist of detective novels, but it is considered to be one of the good works of Sheldon. You can just go through it casually, okay? And you mentioned about Agatha Christie.
Yes, sir.
So, what is her favorite, what is your favorite of hers?
My favorite is the Murder in Oriental Express. That is my favorite, sir.
Saw the movie?
Movie, I have not seen it yet, sir, but I have read the book. Movie, I think it has come out during my exam time, so I have not yet seen
So
it.
Hercule Poirot is the protagonist in that?
Yes, sir. Poirot.
Okay. What is the speciality of this protagonist, this Poirot as a character?
Speciality.
His personality, his carrying around himself, his ability to attract and influence people by his approach. There are so many things to Poirot's as a character. You just go through it. You just skim it in the internet, and internet has it'll have thousands. But you just cover the important aspects of the characterization of Poirot. See, we have forgotten so many authors, but we have not forgotten their characters.
Yes.
For instance, we have not forgotten Sherlock Holmes, but most of us don't know Arthur Conan Doyle. So we have never forgotten James Bond, but we don't know who Ian Fleming is. So these are the powerful characters that will even overshadow their creators. So you just go through it and keep it handy, okay?
Sure, sir.
And listening to melody songs. Melody is your favorite genre?
Yes, sir.
In which language?
In the southern languages, sir. Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. So I listen to most of the southern languages melody songs.
Okay. And why specifically melody?
Sir, it suits me during my stress levels. It suits the stress levels, and it takes me to the different place in which the particular song is presented. So that helps in reducing the. It keeps my mind calm, sir. Helps me to concentrate more in my goals.
Okay. So I see you have given your preferences for the services, the order of preferences from your DAF. Is there any reason that you have given these numbers to these services, or was it tutored by somebody, or can you just explain this?
Sir, I read about each and every service and the pros and cons of the service and what that service is about, and then I written down my priorities. So first I chose IAS because it is the service which every civil service aspirant will aim for. I cannot speak for all, but I aim for IAS. So next is the IPS, and third is IFS, and later part I researched about the other services like information service, trade service, and IRS, customs, IT. So customs, after GST's introduction, the faceless income tax filing, everything became digital. So customs is having more opportunity to meet people and interact with people, and more field trips are there than the IRS, IT. So I preferred customs over IT. So this is how I
So basically a bit of research and interaction with the seniors who had cleared the exams, and with some guidance from them. That could be a better answer for this particular area. If at all there might be a possibility for these questions, because everything that I have asked you is fished out from the DAF. I have not asked anything outside. In fact, I have not even gone into your optionals or your subjects. So you just think about it on the DAF is your core area where most of your questions will be born, and your academic area, your optional. So for instance, sociology is an oceanic subject. You can ask anything above the sun and under the sun. You can credit it to the field of sociology. So since you had opted for it, you can have a quick revision on the origins of the concept of sociology and various theories of sociology, how various theories of sociology helped various researchers and policy makers to understand the intricacies and the nuances of the society, to come out with more better policies, gender friendly policies, poor friendly policies, pro poor policies, etc., etc. So this is to, not only increase your confidence levels, but these are the likely areas where you might get the questions from. Okay. So you are a communications engineer also.
Yes.
Are you aware of the 5G technology?
Yes, sir. 5G has been now introduced into Indian cities. So, pilot operations are going on.
What is so special about that?
Compared with 4G, 5G has better bandwidth capacities, and the speed is higher when compared to the earlier technologies. But with increasing speed, the penetration of signal also gets reduced. So it has the latency of 5G is also very less.
Okay. How do they amplify the 5G technology signals? What is the technology that they use in amplification? There are a lot of technology in amplifications. Amplifier technology has increased over the years. You have to learn all those things, because this is a juicy area where people will ask questions, because you are an electronics and communications engineer. If I were on the board, I would be definitely asking about 5G technology, because 5G technology is going to revolutionize the way that communication is being done in a more faster way, in a more economic way, and in a more productive way. So that is what people are telling.